Hello everybody, welcome back. I am Pete. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing recently. And if you are not subscribed yet, but you've tuned in and you said, look, there's that guy from Anderton's. What is he doing? Yeah, welcome. Please subscribe. My thing with this channel is just to maybe inspire people to play different things, to kind of pick the guitar up, view it in different ways, you know, having discussions in the comment section, and just kind of, you know, help each other out. Not just take what I say or what everybody else says. There's so many great people out there on YouTube that are teachers, that are, you know, that are giving some great advice and great lessons, and you know, it's all of this stuff, and you get all the tabs and all this stuff. So there's plenty of that out there. I like to see when people sort of have conversations in the comment section about what they do, and all of a sudden you see these threads, and you know, I do this and I do that. Oh, I never thought about that. So people actually get together and they have a little chat. And I was watching a video the other day, and also I've had lots of questions about the whole improvising in major and minor pentatonic, and you know, I'm not the greatest theorist. I'm not the greatest teacher. I like to inspire. You know, I like to play something and then people can take from it what they kind of want. But I can try to explain it in the best way possible. The major minor thing, especially when you know where to play what, the major, and when do you know how to play the minor. And I've always sort of played and learned from my experiences, you know. So I'm just gonna have a bit of coffee. That I'll take like, if I play a wrong note, I won't play that note again. I know it's wrong, but I'll happily try to kind of expand my vocabulary of notes by playing something, not being scared of messing up and making mistakes. I think it's important to make mistakes. The major minor thing, like I was playing in the beginning there, so you can hear, it was very, at the end, I was outlining the chords a lot there in the end. So it's basically a song, D, C, G, and then it's a B flat. So all major scales. My guitar is slightly out of tune. That's what happens to these videos. So basically 4 major chords. And I was trying to make a point out of it by playing the first G to the C, staying in the. So this is the major pentatonic, but this is also the relative minor pentatonic. I mean, Google it if you don't know what that is. Basically, every major chord has got a relative minor to them. There's a thing called a circle of fifths. You can Google it. It comes up, it's a little circle, and you can see all the major scales, all the major chords on the outside, and on the inside you can see what's the relative minor of it. You can see all the sharp and the flat keys and all that different stuff. Put it on the screen while I'm talking. But it's basically the chord. So I would play the D chord first. I would just go like. So I got my. That's basically there's all the positions, right? So you can move around up and down the fretboard, and I would suggest that you spend some time on finding on your own. I'm not going to sit here and go through it. Again, Google it, pentatonic scale, up and down the fretboard. Maybe look to the Cade system for that. The Cade system is a really good thing. I might talk about that in another video. Anyway, so we go D, and I play, and goes to C, and I play the same. And then a G, I can play the same. And then it goes to B, and then I can go. That's where I can use, it's the last chord, which is always leading back to the 1, whether it be a 5-1 or whatever it might be, or some kind of relative fifth thing, whatever. Again, me, theory, left it behind. I'm not great at that, but I know kind of where I would play it. So let me just demonstrate. To the D. I can stay in, but I can go. And here comes a major. And then play the major, and then we go again. So in these chord sequences, I know I went like here. That's not a nice note there, even though it is a part of the pentatonic, and definitely in the C. It's not a really nice note either, so you want to avoid some of the notes some of the times, and I think that's where you kind of go when you do the loops and you sit down and you find out where those notes are that is not, you can avoid. In a progression, in a chord progression like this, I can play pentatonic, minor pentatonic all over it all the time. But if you're stuck in that minor pentatonic box, that's great to find out where these extra notes are and when they come in, and again, trial by error. So see, at the end there, with your B, that's not a nice note. But again, I'm playing it and then I'm finding out, right? So I'm effing around and I'm finding out. That's why I think jamming along is so important, whether you're in a band or backing track, or, I always recommend to go and have a band, because it's super, super, super important to play with other people, to learn dynamics and to learn, just learn music, Be a musician, you have to play with other people. If you want to be a musician, if you don't want to be a musician, fine. If you just want to sit on Instagram, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong. But I think it's all about effing around and finding out, We can try to do sort of a little bit more conventional blues. So you kind of just got your A, and then you go to D, and then you go to A, then you go. So let me loop that. So A7, and then to D7, and to A7. Notice I'm only playing the 3 notes on the E7 and D7, yeah, and A7. and turn around on the E. So what I was doing there is a blues in A. I was mixing and matching, and I was trying to make the chords simple. So I'm doing root 7 third, right, for the A, and then I'm doing root third 7 for the D, and of course the same for the E. So actually, when you take the root away, it's super simple. It's all. Super simple in that way. And then what you want to do is you want to aim. What do you want to go ahead and do? Just seeing YouTubers in my mind. Then you want to aim for those notes. So you want to aim for those thirds and sevenths. But going over to the major minor thing, I can play major. And I can play it. But I want to make major. Major. And so on and so forth. It's really difficult to explain actually what I'm doing because I'm not that teacher type. But I think what I'm doing is I'm aiming for certain notes within that chord, especially when it's blues. But I'm mixing and matching that minor scale. I mean, I don't even know if this video I'm putting out right now is any use to any of you guys because I'm rambling on and I'm just saying things, but I thought somebody was saying it and I saw Paul Gilbert and Rick Beata talk about it. And it's that major minor thing. And I think I think a lot of people are struggling with that whole side of it. I know, with Lee in the beginning, it almost scared him on Jansen's channel, Jansen. It was almost scary for him to play the major stuff, to play the major solos. It was all about playing the minor stuff all the time because it felt like that's where he was safe. And I think a lot of people feel safe within that minor pentatonic scale. And that's, if you want to break out of that, it's a good place to start with trying to add some major in your life, because it's not easy to just sit down and improvise over something. That's what takes, years and years and years, and 38 years for me, of playing guitar and failing. And playing wrong notes and playing bum notes. And I love those bum notes and those wrong notes because that's what basically teaches us how to play, and we shouldn't be afraid of it. We should embrace that part of it. Again, it's like if we do another loop, let's say, so like an A to C sharp to an F sharp minor 7. So you got that. So here, it's a B, it's a D, C sharp minor pentatonic. And now the chord, because of the chords, those notes works, right? So now I'm putting myself in a position that I'm doing an A chord, basically. So this is, my chords were embellished with some extra notes in it. But in this case, it's basically an A chord, C sharp minor chord, it's an F sharp minor chord, right? So that's a C sharp minor pentatonic, and then you got the major. So you can play basically an E major scale, or the C minor pentatonic scale, and that's why the pentatonic is so good, because the chord, you don't have to worry about. You can just go. I don't have to play and have what I like to call scale-itis, right? Where you just play the scale, you can embellish by thinking on the major, the pentatonics. And then add in something from the major scale. And I can at the end there, because it's a chord that goes back to the one, right? Then we back to the A. Oh my God, I don't know if I don't know if you're gonna get anything out of this, because I literally turned the camera on, I saw some minor stuff, and I was like, people going, how do you break out of these boxes? And I don't know. It's really difficult, you know. It's really difficult to break out of these boxes. All you have to do is just play, and get inspired, and don't be scared of jumping out into something that is not familiar with, you know, it's not familiar and normal to your playing. I think you just need to grab it by the balls or the horn or whatever, and then just take some risks and take some chances, you know. And of course, practice. It's all well and good to know all the scales and know all the chords and know all that stuff, but if you can't put that into, I mean, you have the knowledge is great, but you have to put it into practice, and that's when sometimes it can become daunting, you know. And putting stuff into practice is very different from knowing all the scales. I've seen it from when I've been out and done some of these, master classes or whatever it is, and you sit with people and they know everything there is to know about the scales and the chords and the progression and what goes where and what chord to play from there. And that's all really well and good, excuse me. But if you can't put it into practice and it's all scales, oh, I have to play the Phrygian there, oh, I have to play the dominant there, and if I play that there, and, you know, then before you get to put something down into your hands, before you put anything in down on paper, as it were, on the guitar, you've forgotten what's the next chord, what's the next bit, you know. You need to think about that melody, that singing, that's how a singer would do a solo. And how am I building a solo up? You know, start slow, start down here and build it up that way, and the whole band will, it will rise with you, and it'll become a big thing at the end, you know. And emotions will pop out. And at that point, you should not think about scales or whether it's major or minor or whatever. You should just enjoy that moment, because those moments are spectacular. When you're in that frame of mind and you feel like you're unstoppable, and it doesn't matter what you play, you know, that is such a huge experience to be in. But getting there takes a lot. Takes a lot, you know. It's not just something you do overnight. And as I say, there's loads and loads of amazing teachers out there, and I don't know if I'm one of them. I don't think I'm one of them. I don't consider myself a great teacher. I consider myself someone who can inspire someone to do something, you know, inspire people, I don't know what it's called. But that's where I am. That's what I would like to do, inspire people. And hopefully this rambling video has inspired and helped someone, because I don't know how this turned out. I'm gonna edit it up and then see if it's any good. And again, sorry, I'm looking over there. I need to get a little screen over here. I can see all my stuff that's going on. I'm trying to look where I'm recording at the same time, and it's pointing at me. But that for another day. Yeah. Please comment and send me some messages, and talk to each other in the comment section. What do you think? What do you do? What are your go-to? Do you do scales? Do you do the major minor pentatonic? Do you do pentatonic at all? I mean, you know, as I said there, I would add in on this thing. See there, I'm adding in that E. Right, but then I can play and just play pentatonic, and then I'm into it, but again. So I'm playing it fast now, I'm just rambling around here. This is all pentatonic. And so on and so forth. Yeah, I think that's enough. Again, these are just the ramblings of a guitarist, of a musician, of a guy who hasn't been on tour since 2016, end of 2015, who's now doing videos. And I love it. It's really good. Appreciate everybody, and yeah, come back and please comment down in the comment section what do you think, and if please, I can take the honest opinion. If you think this was shit, it's fine. I'm absolutely up with that. I ramble, and that's what I do. But hopefully, if I inspired one person out of, I don't know how many is going to watch this video, or one or two people, then I'm happy, because that's really all you could do in this world, especially at the moment. So look after each other, be nice, and I'll see you in the next video. Lots of love. Bye.